All right, guys, today we're in front of the Bearded Hoarder. It's a grand opening. We're going to go inside and check it out. They have vinyl, comics, toys, a bunch of stuff. So come with me. We'll go inside. We'll check it out. And we'll see what they got. All right, let's go inside.
Let's go, bub.
All right, classic Mickey Mouse as we walk in here. And it looks like a traditional antique store, right? And they have some collectibles spread out, like vinyl and action figures and comic books. And they have some video games and some movies. All right, so they have some stuff spread out here. Maybe we should jump into some of the comic books, go through some of the bins. And it is the grand opening, people. Look at the quality content I'm giving you. The grand opening, and I am here. Look at this. Grand opening. Come on. So I have to remind you, this is the grand opening. Look at me.
That was legit.
I happened to be driving by, and I saw the sign, so I popped in and I made a video.
That was legit.
All right, we got some Daredevil here, Frank Miller goodness. All right, a little Amazing Spider-Man run. It looks like the late 300s, maybe Bagley era. And it looks like some Carnage, maybe second appearance, third appearance.
Whoa.
And we got some more Spideys in here. And in the 200s and the 300s, Spider-Man is still solid. And these are like $5 or $10 each. And these are reader copies. They're not mint. They're a little bit scuffed up. But they're like $5 or $10. And the other ones are like $2 or $3. So kind of cool. Kind of a nice little Spider-Man run. I think, oh, Gundam.
Whoa.
Look at this. Mobile suit. Haunt of Fear, some of the reprints from the 90s. Those things are great, right, to see them in floppies? Oh, my camera needs to get lower. Who's the cameraman here? Come on. Holland Ellison? Look at this. Little comic book action there. Twilight Zone writer, comic book writer, right? All-around fiction superstar.
Stop it.
All right, so we got a little Spider-Man running here. We had some Secret Wars. Was it the second run? The second Secret Wars? And then he had some Ghost Rider, some Silver Surfer. He had some cool stuff in here. So maybe we'll pick through this, see what they got. Stay with me. We'll check it out. All right, we're going through some of these comic book bins. Maybe we'll look at some vinyl, and maybe we'll look at some of the statues and statuettes, maybe, and some of the toys. And it looks like some of these stores, when they open, some of the best stuff is out early, right? He's getting rid of his private collection, maybe. So we might find some of the... Oh, there's a camera there. Cool camera. Nice look at the way he set it up. He's got a good eye for design, right? Very antiques looking. His little Mickey Mouse action. And he's got a nice space here, right? The space is nice. Oh, look at that. Radio flyer. Awesome, right? And we got some, all right, we got some Fantastic Four. I found some G.I. Joe. I'll show you what I grabbed in a minute. I'll show you what I grabbed, and then we'll come back to the store. And it is getting crowded in here. The balloons outside and the grand opening is doing a good job. People are coming in off the street. It's getting a little crowded in here. Has a nice ambiance. I had to turn off the sounds because he is blasting classic rock. Right, we got some classic rock going. So I don't want to get a copyright strike. Oh, here's a little Silver Surfer run. Very nice. Some cool books here, right? So I guess this guy's doing like late 80s, early 90s. I guess was his sweet spot for some of these comic books. And
Get to the chopper!
This is a pretty cool run, actually. Kind of fun. And then like I said, I grabbed some G.I. Joe, and then he had some cool Ghost Riders in here too. He had a little run. And let me know if this is your, if this is gonna be. This is grand opening. So, is this gonna be your LCS? Is this gonna be your local spot? And he moved. Oh, here's a classic Wizard, wrapped, still wrapped. Still sealed. Look at this. Still sealed. Wizard. For you guys out there, there is a cult following now for Wizard. When I go on YouTube, I'm surprised how many people love the Wizard. Here is some classic Batmans here. Gotham Knights. A little Joker action. And he moved. Let me know where he moved from. I forgot where he moved from. But, he is now in... We are in Long Island. I think we're in Nassau County, right? I just went into the Bearded Hoarder. Check out what they had. I got some books. Let me show you the books I got. And then we'll go back into the shop, all right? There's a train coming by. We'll buy the train tracks. You guys want to see the train? Is that exciting? That was an action shot, guys, just for you. An action shot. All right, let me show you the books, and then we'll come back inside, all right? All right, he is in Sayville, Long Island, 279 Railroad Avenue, if you want to know where his address is. And I grabbed some G.I. Joe's early A Real American Hero run from the early 80s. He had a little run going there. These are kind of reader copies. They're not mint. They're a little bit worn, but kind of fun. Some of the books I didn't really have, maybe some holes in my G.I. Joe. And then he had a New Universe book. Look at this New Universe book, Merc. And that's the last issue. Kind of cool, I grabbed it. And a G.I. Joe Special Missions #1. Very cool, right? And that looked like it was in pretty good shape. They're all bagged and boarded. So, then he had the Frank Miller Man of Fear on the right there. Kind of a cool book. Prestige format. And then he had the classic cover there on the left. The Amazing Spider-Man. Right? How cool is that? And these aren't in mint condition or anything. They're kind of maybe worn a little bit. But kind of fun to see them around. Go in there and see them around. Kind of a classic era in the Amazing Spider-Man, right?
Whoa.
Kind of a fun time to be reading them. And then he had the Ultimate Spider-Man, #2. The Bearded Hoarder. Collectibles. Here's his little sticker. Vintage toys, antiques. I grabbed the sticker. Kind of fun, right? Kind of a nice shop, right? Wish this guy the best. To see what we got here. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at this hunt. I went crazy. 11. Out of control. Out of control. Let's go back to the shop. Not the Eagles. Anything but the Eagles, man. Holy cow. Should I go to another bin? He had Eagles in there. All right, let's check out some of the vinyl here. See what they got in here. Oh, they got Queensryche. Looks like he's got some early 80s and 90s stuff in here. Oh, he's got Kiss. He's got the solo records. Each one had their own record. Look at this. How cool is that? I remember when the Melvins did this. It was hilarious, right? The Melvins did like a homage. And he's got Kiss Alive. Oh, man, here we go. All right, let's take a walk over here. See if they got some video games. And they have some movies, some posters. Attack of the 50-Foot Woman there. And it looks like some original art, right? So sometimes when these shops open, if you get here early, sometimes his private collection that he wasn't sure he wanted to sell, sometimes he's putting some of that stuff out, you know? So sometimes when these shops open early, a lot of the good stuff is out here. So for you hardcore collectives out here, if you want to stop in and take a pick at all the all the prime stuff. I guess he's putting out right early. He's got a cool Ghost Rider run here. Some cool. And then he had before we had a Silver Surfer run. He's got some Hulks in here, and I think there was some X-Men. Kind of cool stuff. Random, right? Random mishmash. And I guess he'll see what his customer base is about, and he'll shape his store in that image, right? He'll get a feel for what's hot movers, and the store will start to get its own personality. And I believe this is the opening weekend we're here. So we are here very early on. I happened to be driving by, and I just stopped and said, hey, let me make a video over here. Kind of cool, right? And here is nice Ghost Rider run here, right? And he's got a lot of dupes, right? A lot of duplicates in here. And he had some Cracked magazine and Maggin magazine on the right. You see the magazine size that are slanted? He had some humor magazines over there. And they are blasting classic rock in here. Oh, he's got that bubblegum machine. You see ahead of me, the bubblegum machine? You guys like that? Put the gumballs in there. All right, and it is getting crowded in here. He is getting a draw today. I guess it's the weekend. People are walking around and stumbling into his store. All right, he had some cool Daredevils, right? And we got some Guardians of the Galaxy in here. New Mutants. Right? So this is Square in the late 80s, early 90s. Some X-Men.
All right, guys, that was the Bearded Hoarder. Thanks so much for coming with me. Let me know if I missed anything. It's a new shop, so I think they just opened this weekend. They were from Patchogue on Main Street. He had a shop, and he just moved. So I guess he's doing pretty good. So we wish him the best. And let me know if you know this shop, if it's your LCS. Check out my other videos. And I will see you next time.
It's a trap.